Miami 2020 spring break. 2 young men drugged and sexually abused a young lady, and afterwards she passed away. So today they're in court for it. It's 21-year-old Evoire Collier and 24-year-old Dorian Taylor. And the victim was 24-year-old Christine Engelhardt. She went with the young man to a hotel after leaving spring break, the area where they were having all the fun and activities, and she was tipsy as hell. And in the report, the hotel manager says he saw the young man coming in with the young lady, and she was so wasted that one of them had to hold her up to get her to the room. This is from one of the young men. As they got to the room, they had sex with her and gave her a blue pill. But then the cold part about it is she probably passed out. They didn't pay it no mind. But when they left, they took her cell phone and her credit cards. To be totally honest, yeah, these are young adults, but that don't mean they're the brightest young adults. Just because they go to college don't mean you the sharpest tool in the shed. Because this spring break stuff is kind of out of control. In this Miami spring break alone, they've had over 1,000 arrests. 350 of them were felonies. And they have seized 80 firearms. Yeah, we understand it's a lot. And we do understand places like Miami, you have your concealed carry, you can carry weapons in places in the South. And I know Miami is one of them too, where you can carry your weapons. But just thinking about that alone, youngsters, that's a dangerous place to be. Like one of the G's told me, if you go somewhere and you have to carry a weapon, you probably shouldn't be there. Now process that and ask me, do that make sense? It makes a hell of a lot of sense. If I have to bring a gun to a party, I probably shouldn't be at that party. Because this ain't the kind of party I want to be at. I got to have a gun on me. And that would be the same with this spring break. They seized 80 firearms. Ain't no telling how many people out there carrying firearms strapped up, but they just so happen to seize 80 of them. That's enough to be like, nah, this ain't that great of an idea. You hear a lot of stories about the college kids when they go to spring break, and we see it all over the news. They acting crazy and whatnot. I understand they saying, hey, they've been working hard, let them spread their wings. It's no problem with spreading your wings. But it can't come to the cost of another person's life or the injury of another person. You can spread your wings, but you still have to be responsible as a young adult. If you're going to hurt yourself, that's one thing. But to hurt somebody else is another thing. To violate another person is another thing. And then you might be a little too tipsy and try to violate somebody and get what people get during spring break. Knock the out, like Smokey say. But yeah, some of these activities we do are terrible. And spring break is supposed to be a time for them to enjoy themselves. So that would say we don't even know how to enjoy ourselves as human beings. You don't even know what fun is. Fun is not I'm at some party and somebody gets knocked out or killed or stabbed or shot. That's not fun. Fun is we went, we partied, we had a good time, we all left. Might even pulled something on our way leaving. But we all left, everybody got home safe, and it was a good night. But when people are coming up dead, hurt, injured, that's not a good time. Even if you're not the one that got violated, just being a part of that is not a good thing. But yeah, family, we got to be careful. Even in this instance, you have to be careful. And even with those young men, they charged them with burglary, battery, petty theft, sexual battery, credit card fraud. And if they find out that that blue pill they gave her, they're going to be charged with manslaughter. You can be a good kid, but good kids go bad. It depends on the energy that you allow in your space. It had to be some bad energy, whether it was her brother or the other young man. One of them came up with this great dumb idea. Yeah, we'll give her one of these pills. So one of them came up with that idea. They came all the way from North Carolina to Florida with these blue pills. So they was already planning to do what they was planning to do. Oh, we're going to do a come up. Come up went bad. Whatever they were thinking to do, it went bad. Because if they were being stand-up guys and it happened, they wouldn't have took her valuables and left. They would have stayed at that room, called down there to the lobby, and said, hey, you need to call the paramedics. Because our little girlfriend right here, she's not responding. That's what you would have did. But I understand sometimes you get scared and nervous and all, but hey, that would have been the best thing to do. I'll say it like that. But you're suspect when you took her valuables. Now, if you just left the room and was like, hey, now they got you, you'd be like, hey, we left because we were scared. Or we left, we didn't know that she was passing away. We thought she was asleep. Now, that would have been perfect. But to do it and take her valuables, it makes you suspect. And nobody should cape for that. I'm not going to cape for it. And family shouldn't cape for it. Like I tell you, when people intentionally cause harm to other people, harm should be intentionally caused to them. When you do it unintentionally, only then should you be prosecuted and sent to jail. And that's only my opinion. You know, that's the way I feel about it. But overall, it's not a good look, fellas. And with that, I'm going to say, this is the news in you. North, east, west, south, unite from every alley and Cali, intersection and back street. Subscribe to the channel and hit the thumbs up on your way out the door.